too hard, I want to lose it.
Wow. How did you find this?
As we pulled that rock and with the light just right, you could see the thumbprint. Touch that with your own hand. Just put your thumb right there. All of a sudden, 2,200 years evaporate.
Oh my gosh.
This is a massive pool, water collection facility inside the major architecture.
One of the most amazing parts of our travels to Guatemala is the fact that we were going to go see the Popol Vuh. Popol Vuh is essentially the Mayan creation myth, and a lot of historians believe that it was a contaminated document because they believed it happened somewhere along during the Spanish conquest. And so they believed part of the mythology was Mayan, and then part of it was from Spanish Catholicism. And the significance, and in going under this tent and seeing it face to face, was the fact that this artifact predates anything they thought by a millennium. And to be realizing as we're walking in this tent that I'm not in a museum, I'm not in the British Museum or in the Mexico City Anthropology Museum, I am where this structure was created and built. And not only am I looking at it, but the fact that Dr. Hansen is explaining to us that this Popol Vuh, this frieze, is only 24 meters of it is uncovered. It continues to expand around this ancient reservoir system for hundreds of meters. And he put it so well, he said, it's kind of like today if we were to find the Mona Lisa in the sewage system. It is going to rewrite Mayan history, and we are the first to show it to the world.
This is going to be something you haven't seen before, but it is going to give us an opportunity to show you some of the most amazing features of pre-classic iconography and pre-classic ideology in full manifestation.
Here we go. Oh my gosh. This
has not been stabilized, it hasn't been consolidated, it's just the way we excavated it.
Wow.
We're in the process now working with this, but you're looking at a rich cosmological scene.
When did you discover this?
Just a few months ago. So you're the first professional company to ever look at this art.
This is the creation story.
This is the creation story,
people.
And it goes back to at least 300 to 200 BC.
What was it like, just that moment of discovery when you realized what this is?
Immediately I saw the head, I realized with the number 1 and the scroll out of the, I thought, can this be the Popol Vuh? I was stunned. They had a series of pools with 2 waterfalls, dual waterfalls that fell into another pool. And then the side of their pools were richly decorated with extraordinary art on 2 levels. It shows the wealth of their society.
That they could put this in a drainage.
On a water pool.
For hundreds of meters.
That's right.
Around the whole pool.
Yeah, that's right. This keeps on going.
The whole reservoir. You see something like this and you realize that we've only opened up less than 1% of the site of El Mirador. Dr. Hansen has basically rewritten the Mayan history books that said the top of the society, the renaissance of Maya was the classic. And actually, it was 1,000 years before the pre-classic. Were not primitive villagers. These were the real founders of the Maya Empire.
Yeah, these were the major players. And this was essentially the capital of the world in the Western Hemisphere.
Right here.
At one period of time, yeah.
It's amazing.
Pues de hecho todo es delicado porque es una verdadera reliquia de tener algo tan antiguo y tan importante, y tenemos que hacerlo bien minuciosamente para poder hacer el trabajo sin destruir el mascarón. También es un legado que le estamos dejando a la humanidad por la antigüedad que tiene el lugar, y estamos viendo cómo los antiguos mayas eran digamos, grandes pensadores que plasmaban todas sus ideas en la arquitectura. Bueno, es un gran orgullo Es un orgullo poder participar en un trabajo como estos que va a perdurar por muchos siglos más.
This story is not just belong to an American archaeologist like Dr. Richard Hansen or Jeff Morgan with the Global Heritage Fund. This project is very much so owned and beloved by Guatemalans.
These guys are the true heroes. In fact, I've worked with some of these guys like Don Adrian and Pedro and Arnoldo for years and years and years. We have up to 30 years with these guys. They know where to go. They know where to patrol. They know how the looters operate. They listen to it. They listen for the sound of the pick in the jungle. This is an old looter's trench. Since 1992, where we've had guards in cities throughout the basin, we've had no new looters' trenches. Where we haven't had the resources for that, we have lost 100% of every single structure has been destroyed, ripped through, torn apart, artifacts obtained and stolen, smuggled out of the country, taken to foreign museums and foreign collectors. And the devastation is complete. One of the things that the looters missed, however, and was recovered by our people, is this little feature here. And this looks like a piece of clay. It is a piece of clay. It's kind of rough, and it was cast aside. But in reality, it's a mold. It has a mold. Here's the face and the breasts of a woman and the kneeling posture. And so what they did in the late classic period, they poured this full of clay and molded it so that you had a perfect mold image and could reproduce this on a larger scale. A tremendous find. One of the great, in fact, this has to go to the Mirador Basin Museum for the simple fact that it's so rare to find this stuff.
For us, it's extremely important. And Guatemala is a Mayan country. I mean, we are Mayans, and that's what the whole thing is all about.
For the first time, the government of Guatemala is stepping up to the plate here.
We have to make a program that we preserve the park, and we show the park, and we investigate and scientifically analyze the park, but at the same time preserve the jungle and preserve the green part. Not just important for Guatemala, but for the whole Western Hemisphere and for Latin America.
Guatemala has contemporary Maya still living in villages. These people know the jungle, they know it well, they've lived in it. Their time has come. I think the idea of the entire conservation of this area is that they be the beneficiaries of this in some way. You can see that this is you know, we're beginning here, but we're making a change, we're making a difference in people. We have the opportunity to investigate rainforest culture that existed thousands of years ago. Sometimes I ponder, you know, what were the factors that led to their demise? What were the things that took them down the path to destruction? Because when they went, they left all their pottery right on the floors of their buildings. They left stone tools with the stone flakes still sitting around the stone tool, and they walked away forever. On the far horizon, there's a bump that you see out there, an unnamed city that we have yet to explore, yet to identify. That is, it tells us that there are many, many cities in this area we have to know, we have to learn about. But our primary focus is to preserve these cities. Even though we may not get the chance to see them in our lifetime, we'll have the ability to save them for future scholars. Hopefully 200 years from now, someone will stand in the same position we are now and look across this forest and see much the same things we're seeing now. Flora, fauna, buildings, and that's the goal. That's the reason.
You're tearing up.
I am? No, I'm not. Just getting excited.
Why is this emotional for you?
Well, because we've invested so much in it. You know, when you realize how much blood and sweat and tears have gone into this, you know. Just because it's been a challenge, it's been a learning experience, but it's been an opportunity to share something with the world that we didn't know before, you know. And fight for a cause that's true, that's real. Generations from now, we'll have the opportunity to appreciate this And that's what it's all about. We're going to be gone in a little while. We're going to be dead and gone. Who's going to remember this? You know, who's going to remember what we did or what great science? I came to the conclusion years ago that science for the sake of science is sterile if it doesn't bless the lives of people. And by conserving this, we're blessing the lives of an entire nation.